Grabbing the boards like, I'ma go coast to coast. I'm on beats like do-si-do. They don't wanna go toe to toe. Step into my court, you get put in the poster. We ain't talk to nobody if you ain't with the smoke. Run up on me, watch your ankles get broke.
Yo, what up, it's your boy JDMC, and we back with another video. What I want to do today is just 2020 to 2021 NBA season predictions. I'm going to go through the standings and then hand out all the awards. I know the season hasn't started yet, but that's the point of doing this video, is I'm going to make all my predictions, and then we'll come back to it at the end of the year and see how see if I was right or see how far I was wrong. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. Before we get into it, make sure to hit that sub button. We're on the road to 1K. I think over 90% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if this is your first time watching my video, or if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And can we also get 10 likes this video? I'll give you 3 seconds to like the video. Boom. Alright, let's get into it. Also, a little disclaimer, when I do my standings, I've put them in order, but don't take it too literally. Like, if I've got this team at 1 and this team at 2, like, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I've just tried to roughly predict what I think will be the most accurate. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Start off with the standings. We'll do East, I think, first, and then we'll get into the West. So East, I've got Bucks first, Celtics, Nets, Heat as my top 4. Then I've got Sixers, Raptors, Pacers, and Wizards. I know I've got the Hawks at 9, and this actually was a really hard decision. I sat here for 5 minutes and just stared at it. Wizards did come really low last year. Obviously, they got Bradley Beal and they've added Russell Westbrook now, which I think is enough to make them a playoff team maybe. And I do think that their player development will be strong with the younger players. But it is difficult to have the Hawks outside the playoffs with all the talent they added. But that's the way I feel most content, and I've kept the Pacers at that 7th spot in the playoffs over the Hawks per se, just because they do have a solid team, and I just think that they're built to win a decent amount of regular season games, where the Hawks will have things to figure out. But yeah, you can have a look at that. Like I said, don't take it too literal, but that's sort of my rough list. Now moving on to the West, I've got Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, and Mavericks as the top 4. But I've put the Lakers and Clippers at the top, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not the top 2 seeds, just because we know that they're favorites. I don't think they're going to go all out in the regular season. So I could see teams like Nuggets, Mavericks, and Blazers potentially seeding higher than them. But I've just put them at the top 2 positions because I think they're the top 2 favorites in the West. And then the bottom 4, I've got Trailblazers, Jazz, Golden State, and Rockets. I did really want to put the Suns in there because I think the Suns are a playoff team, but I don't know who to put them over. I feel like the only teams I could put them over is Warriors, but I'm just giving the Warriors a little bit of respect with Steph coming back and their young core. I feel like they could maybe win enough regular season games. The Rockets are at the 8th seed, and they could be swapped with the Suns. We just don't know what's happening with this James Harden situation. That all depends on what return they can get back. But yeah, you guys can see that. Then I've got the young teams like the Pelicans, Grizzlies, Kings, Timberwolves, all outside of the playoffs, just because I feel like I couldn't put them over any of these other 8 spots. But you could change Suns and Rockets. That's just depending on James Harden and what happens with that. But that's my West standing prediction. Now let's get on to the NBA awards. I think I've done like the 5 or 6 major ones, so we'll just go through it and I'll just roughly say why I've got this. And also, while we're going through it, leave your comments below if you agree or disagree, or who you would change, or blah blah blah, stuff like that. I'm not saying all of these are right. Obviously, we're going to have to see how the season plays out, but I just thought it would be fun to do this. For the coach of the year, I got Brad Stevens, just because I can see the narrative being there slightly. They did lose Gordon Hayward, did lose Cantu, that's not major. They did add Teague and Thompson, but I just feel like the narrative is that they're, if anything, not as good. And I feel like if they can be a 1 or 2 seed, which I think they're more than capable of, especially if they can, like, say, seed higher than the Bucks, maybe in the Celtics hit that 1 seed, I can just see Brad Stevens getting his respect and his credit. I do think the East is going to be a little bit harder this year as well compared to last year. So, it's with like the KDs and stuff back, and Westbrook in the East. So I do think if Brad Stevens can lock down that, especially that 1 seed, maybe that 2 seed, I could see him being coach of the year. Rookie of the year, Killian Hayes. I know you guys are probably looking at this and going like, what? Why? Obviously there's the Wiseman, Edwards, Mellows, who are probably most people's favorites because they were the higher picks and the higher talents. I just think that Killian Hayes, he's going to be the starting point guard. He's got the mentorship of D-Rose. I just think he's going to have a lot of opportunities. I don't know how great the Pistons' success will be in terms of them even making the playoffs, because I didn't even have them in my top 8. But I don't know, I can just see him getting 16 to 18 points a game with maybe like 5-6 assists. And I don't know, it's going to depend. I'm not too confident on this prediction, so take this one with a grain of salt. I'm not too knowledgeable on the rookies coming in, but I don't know, I just watched a few of his preseason games and I just feel like he looks quite polished up. Still got a long way to go, but I don't know. He's my rookie of the year on the slight chance I may be right. Most improved player, Jamal Murray. I was looking back at the last 5 to 10 years of most improved players, and it does tend to be players who were good / average, who then become like all-star, who then become like 20 point per game scorers. It's not really like someone who scored 1 point and then scores 10-12 points. It's more like someone who was in the 15 range and then goes up to 20 plus. So he did average 18 points a game last year. I do see the Nuggets still being solid, and I can see him putting up 20 plus. I feel like after the bubble, he's just got a lot more confidence, believes in himself more, and is going to get more shots. So I can definitely see Jamal Murray being most improved player of the year. I'm quite confident about that, but we're going to have to see. We've got a long way to go until we actually see these awards. Sixth man of the year, Lou Williams. I know that seems basic and boring or whatever, but when you sort of break it down, I just think Schroeder's probably going to start this year when we talk about the candidates from last year. I think Montrezl Harrell could be up there, but I don't know. I just don't think he's going to score as much on the Lakers. I feel like there's going to be some learning curves in him really finding that role. I don't think that's going to be a main focus for him just to give you 20 a night off the bench or 18. I could see him maybe being like more of a 12 to 15 point per game scorer this year, Montrezl Harrell. And that being said as well, with Montrezl Harrell not on the Clippers, I just think there's a couple more shots for Lou Williams. The Clippers got some stuff to prove this year, so yeah, Lou Williams is my sixth man of the year. I couldn't really think of anyone else. This is probably stupid, but maybe Tyler Hero, but he's probably going to start way too many games. But I can maybe see Tyler Hero, or depending on who they bench out of Spencer Dinwiddie or Karis LeVert in the Nets, maybe they could be a sixth man of the year, but I'm going with Lou Williams. DPOY, I think they're going to get it right this year. Nah, jokes. Giannis deserved it last year, don't get me wrong. I'm just a bit salty because I'm a Lakers fan, but I do think Anthony Davis is going to get it this year. And on the simple fact, they don't have Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee anymore this year. We led the blocks in the league last year, the Lakers. Did we? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, we did. We did. The Bucks were the best defensive team, I think, but we led blocks. I just think that that's going to drop. We don't have the Twin Towers there, which just means that we're going to be able to see Davis. Davis is going to have to protect the rim more, you know? Like, Marc Gasol and Montrezl Harrell will hold their own, but they're not the rim protectors the other two were. So I could really just see Anthony Davis having a little bit more opportunity to be the defensive player of the year and have more of a defensive role on this team, even compared to last year, which seemed like he had a huge role on the defensive end. But Anthony Davis is my defensive player of the year. And MVP is Luka Doncic. If the Mavericks will have to get a top 2 to top 3 seeding, that's possible. As the Mavericks, they could definitely be a really good regular season team, especially if their offense. I think they could get them through to a high seed. But the seeding is always a big case when it comes to MVP. I do see the narrative there in terms of like young player with literally no ceiling. The only other options I could see is maybe like what I was talking about with Brad Stevens. If the Celtics can be a top 1 or 2 seed, I can maybe see Jason Tatum being an MVP candidate. I do think for him he will have to get 28 points or plus maybe. And also my other candidate is Damian Lillard. But same with Luka. Damian Lillard's going to have to be a top 2, but maybe even top 3 seed and put up solid numbers. But I think all round, narrative-wise, skill-wise, potential-wise, everything, success-wise, I think Luka Doncic is going to be the MVP this year. Like 28 points, 9 and 9, like type thing, like maybe a near 30-point triple-double. So Luka Doncic is my MVP. And I think that the Los Angeles Lakers, as I would say because I'm a Lakers fan, but I think that LA Lakers will win the championship this year. I just think that they're not as defensively strong, but they're way better offensively. The players like Davis and stuff now who have won that championship, like Davis is going to have so much more confidence. We're going to see a step up from Davis. I don't think there's going to be as much learning curves with like him and stuff, so I can just really see LeBron and Davis just leading the way, and with the support of Kuz, who just signed the extension, Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, and then even the going further down, you've got the Carusos, KCPs, blah blah blah, Marc Gasol's. I can just really see the Lakers getting it done again this year, but we'll have to wait and see. and I know this is way too early, but I'm going to say if they do win the finals, MVP will be Davis, just because I can really see LeBron being like, just go, just do it. We've already won before, and I got finals MVP. I led the way, nearly scored 30 a game, but this is your time, Davis. I can see Davis expanding his game. If they get to the finals, like, Davis' confidence levels is going to be so much higher. I just feel like he's mentally going to have the upper hand, and he's got all the talent in the world to do it. So yeah, well, those are all my predictions. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1K, so please make sure to help out. I noticed a lot of my viewers are American. I think over 50%. I'm from New Zealand, so make sure to subscribe and support your boy from across the globe. But yeah, that's it. Also, leave your opinions down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.